Hi, I'm a professor of psychology and I study how people think and behave. And that includes, of course, how politicians think and behave. Now, this US presidential election is certainly one of the most interesting in living memory. This in part because of the extremely different personalities of Donald Trump and Kamala Harris. Now, in this video, I will show you what the key psychological strategies are in debates and in rallies. Now, let's start with Donald Trump. He has two key strategies. The first is, as you probably know, that's his frequent use of personal attacks and aggressive humor. Now, psychologists study humor styles, and below the video is a quick survey in which you can see what humor style you have. It's a very short survey. Do it. I have the link. It's on our website. Now, Trump has a so-called aggressive humor style. That means he's making fun of people. And that is, of course, is a common humor style. And there are many examples of Trump actually using it. For example, when he was making fun of Harris, how she says thank you.
I don't want to say too many thank yous because you saw Kamala at the convention when she got up. Thank you, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you. I said, what's wrong with her? What the? So I don't want to say too much. Is that right, fellas? I got just every once in a while I'll say thank you, and I mean it, thank you. But my thank you is meaningful, I will tell you.
The second strategy of Donald Trump is his frequent use of superlatives, words such as best and worst. He does this really often. Look for it.
This is the worst president and vice president in the history of our country. There's never been anybody that's done the damage of these people. You know, I used to say, and I haven't said it in a while, if you took the 10 worst presidents in the history.
You could say he dramatizes what he talks about. He's a showman. After all, he has been a successful TV personality. What he does basically is highlighting his text with a yellow marker, but in his spoken text. And it basically means listen to me, attend me. So those are his two strategies. Now, that is Donald Trump. What about Kamala Harris? Does she have a specific psychological strategy? Now, I would say she does. She has one really specific psychological strategy. She often makes a personal connection with her audience. She did it, for example, by saying, I love Generation Z. I love Generation Z, as you say in the US.
And let me start by saying, I love Gen Z. I love Gen Z.
And so on. She smiles at people, and also she's generally very positive in interpersonal relations. She is very good at personal engagements. Now, this strategy works really well in rallies, but it's more difficult when you're in a debate one-to-one with your opponent. So, what is she going to do in the debates? Well, we have seen her in several debates before, and I would say there is a strategy there. In her debating style, she uses more the prosecutor style of talking. It's something that she, of course, learned in her previous career as a prosecutor, and which is really useful for political debates. And she will definitely use it. So, what does this mean for the debate dynamics? So, the back and forth between these two candidates. Now, here are my predictions. You will see Trump using, of course, lots of superlatives. He will say, "Oh, I was made the best president," or something like that. And this was the worst administration when he speaks about his opponents. And so those are these attacks. And interestingly, with the attacks, actually, people have said Donald Trump might be better off not doing the personal attacks in the debate because, like some of the voters, maybe the independent voters, the undecided voters, they might not like it. But psychology tells us that habits are really hard to beat. And everyone knows that. And he is so much that, like making these sort of like attacks is so much his baseline mode. And he has done that, in the past months, of course, on all these rallies, that's what he does all the time. So I think that's really difficult not to do all of a sudden. That would be a surprise. I think we will see it. And, whether that works or not, we'll see. From Harris, we will see, I think, the following. So she will certainly make statements to the audience, looking at the camera and basically saying, I care about you, I love you, I'm like you. And then when talking to Trump, she will use sort of like the prosecutor role. She will be tough, and where she will list exactly what's wrong with his plans, with his rationale, with all the things he says, what's wrong with it, and she will list it, this and this and this, and therefore your case makes no sense or something like that. I expect her to do that. So this will be an interesting debate. Now, when it comes to gaffes, they're always really interesting, and we have seen it, of course, in the debate between Trump and Biden. Now, I don't think Harris will have these gaffes. Trump, though, might do so. He has in the past misspoken, so it is possible that he will do this, and people will hold this against him and probably say, well, he's older, so see, there we go, we need a younger candidate. That might be one of the arguments that will be made afterwards by the Democrats. But when it comes to winning, and this is always really hard to say, both teams, I think, will say, our team won, right? The Trump team will say, we thought Trump really won. He was clear about whatever he has talks about, and the Harris team said, "Yeah, no, Harris clearly won." But what really matters is what the undecided independent voters think. And the second thing that's important is whether they convince their base voters to go voting on the election day. So they speak both to their own base and to the undecided voters. This is really interesting. So for example, can Trump attack so severely that she cannot defend herself, that she almost is flustered? I doubt it, because they will do in the preparations. They will try everything on her. So I don't think that will probably happen. The thing that I will be looking for is whether Harris probably can make such a good personal connection with the audience, which is more difficult because there is no audience around her. So she's speaking basically to the camera. That people say, "Oh yeah, I really like this person. This is a person that cares about me." That's a really important element that works with her strategy. That is her strategy. I look out for that, whether that will work, whether she can convince people by doing that just the right way, maybe talking about just the right topic. So she will have prepared for that as well. And at the same time, when that comes together with Trump's, say, sort of like nasty attacks on her personally, then you can see an interesting dynamic where people might say, okay, wait a minute, so she's really nice, and she has this so she knows what she's talking about, whereas Trump is constantly attacking her, but they don't have that personal connection with Trump, possibly. So that might be one way this works in Harris's advantage. But we will see. If you like this sort of like commentary, like and subscribe to my channel, and I will certainly talk more about the debate after it has taken place. Thank you for watching. Like and subscribe. Bye.